Ever notice when you read certain Christmas stories or watch certain Christmas movies, there are references to something called a Yule log? Well, what the hell is a Yule log, right? Let's find out. Let's get spooky. Hey everybody, it's your best friend Kenny here. And here we have another video in our creepy Christmas. This is following our strange Christmas and holiday traditions video. And we're going to talk about the Yule log. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel, The Spooky Lawyer. Make sure that you like and share this video with all of your friends. Make sure you watch this video during Christmas break or Christmas time or whatever you're doing for the holidays. And even if it's not the holidays, make sure you watch this video. The Yule log is a cherished symbol of warmth and festivity during the winter holidays for people in Britain and some other European areas. And it has a tradition intertwined with paranormal lore and ancient traditions. The Yule log has been imbued with mystical significance, representing hope, renewal, and the cyclical nature of life and death. The origins of the Yule log tradition date back to pre-Christian times, likely evolving from ancient solstice celebrations and bonfires. While the exact origins are unknown, the practice is believed to have roots in the ancient winter solstice celebrations. The word Yule comes from the Old Norse word, or Yule, which referred to a pagan festival observed in Scandinavia and other parts of Northern Europe. During the festival, people would burn large logs to symbolize the return of the sun after the darkest days of winter. Also, burning wood creates warmth, and it's cold. The earliest mention of a log burned around Christmas comes from the 1648 poetry collection, where it is referred to as a Christmas log. The term Yule log first appeared in 1686. Initially, the Yule log was often an entire tree or a massive log carefully chosen and brought into the house with a great ceremony. This practice contrasts with the modern usage of smaller logs or Yule log cakes, reflecting a shift towards a more symbolic representation of the tradition. The log would be placed in the hearth and burned throughout the 12 days of Christmas, from Christmas Day to the evening of January 5th, the 12th night. The types of wood and their significance differ across various cultures, and each have its own symbolic meaning and practical considerations. In England, the wood type is generally oak, which is a traditional choice which symbolizes strength and longevity. In Scotland, Scotland, it's birch, which is associated with purification and new beginnings. In France, they prefer to burn a cherry log, which is often sprinkled with wine, because of course, right, it's France, before burning for a pleasant aroma. In certain areas of the UK, like Devon and Somerset, they choose ash twigs in place of logs because of the local legend about the shepherds providing warmth to Joseph, Mary, and Jesus. In some places in Ireland, they substitute a candle instead of a log because in these areas, trees were scarce. The choice of wood often depended on the availability of a specific tree species in different regions. For example, oak is readily available in England, whereas birch is much more common in Scotland. The tradition of burning a Yule log for an extended period also influenced the selection of the wood. Hardwoods, like hard maple and hickory, were prized for their high heat output. Now, I know some of you are saying, Kenny, this is the Spooky Lawyer channel. You're the Spooky Lawyer. What's spooky about burning this wood, right? Well, there are many rituals and superstitions associated with the Yule log. For example, some traditions dictate that the log must be gifted and that it cannot be purchased. And others say it must come from the homeowner's property. There are also many beliefs tied to the burning of the log. For example, if the log doesn't light easily, it's seen as bad luck for the coming year. If the flame goes out before the night is over, tragedy may happen to the family. In some cultures, the log must be burned for all 12 days of Christmas to ensure good fortune. It's also believed that the burning of the Yule log might protect the house from lightning. So you've got a whole bunch of log-related curses there for you. Another tradition involves tying bands around the Yule log. As the log burned, each band would be chosen by a person, and the last band to burn through would bring good luck to that person in the following year. Another custom involves chalking a figure of a man on the log and burning it, a form of sympathetic magic believed to encourage the return of the sun during the winter. Visitors are often encouraged to poke the burning Yule log with a stick or a poker to send embers flying up the chimney, symbolizing the release of wishes or blessings. And when the Yule log had burned down, a piece of it was traditionally preserved and used to light the next year's Yule log, symbolizing continuity and the cyclical nature of tradition. The ashes from the Yule log are also believed to have special properties. They are thought to protect the house from fire, lightning, and hail, and can be used to fertilize crops, heal cattle, and even cure toothaches. In some traditions, the ashes are scattered on fields or gardens to promote fertility. The Yule log tradition has strong connections to pagan beliefs and practices. The burning of the log was seen as a way to entice the sun to return after the winter solstice, bringing longer days and the promise of spring. People relied on the sun for warmth, light, and the growth of crops, much like they do today. In some pagan traditions, the Yule log represented the death and rebirth of the Green Man. No, not Charlie the Green Man. A different Green Man. A symbol of nature's cyclical renewal. The Yule log was also incorporated into Norse mythology, where it was associated with the god Thor. According to legend, Thor's chariot was pulled by two goats, and the Yule log was seen as a symbolic representation of these goats. The symbolism of the Yule log has evolved and adapted across different cultures. In Celtic traditions, the log was believed to persuade the sun to move again after the winter solstice, bringing longer days and the return of spring. For Christians, the Yule log symbolizes the warmth of the stable where Jesus was born. In Norse cultures, the Yule log represented the hearth and the life-sustaining fire within the home. The burning of the log symbolized the return of the sun and the triumph of light over darkness. The Yule log has these sort of mystical, paranormal, legendary properties that are done as part of superstition and tradition, and has all of these, religious and pagan as well as secular undertones and beliefs. So when you're reading your Christmas stories and you hear about the Yule log being thrown on the fire, that's what they're talking about. The Yule log tradition also represents the need of humans to connect with each other. Sitting around a fire is a famous way to connect with each other. We have bonfires. We like fireplaces for a reason. Fires foster community and mean togetherness, and the Yule log ritual incorporates that. There's also just something nostalgic about fire, a fire burning. Make sure that you are following me on Blue Sky and TikTok. My username is AKBrews. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. My username is AKBrews. If there is a spooky story you would like me to cover, please send me an email. My email address is thespookylawyer@gmail.com. Make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, The Spooky Lawyer. Make sure you like this video and share it. I appreciate you supporting my channel. I appreciate you watching my videos. And please, stay spooky.